Hey guys, Lumi News here. So today I'm going to be discussing the Warriors of Hope and how I believe they could take place in the new Danganronpa 3 anime that will be coming out in 2016. So please take note, this is all pure speculation at this point, so I could be wrong about a lot of this since there's very little facts we know so far regarding the Danganronpa 3 anime or the Warriors of Hope's involvement in it. But without further ado, let's begin. There are a few facts that we know that kind of lead us to believe that the Warriors of Hope could possibly have a place in this anime. So the first thing that we know is that Danganronpa 3 is going to be taking place after Super Danganronpa 2, and this may or may not be directly after because of Kodaka's comment regarding Naegi's height. And I'll pull up the interview that he has, but basically he says that Naegi might look older and he might look taller, but that it's sort of implied that not a whole lot of time has passed, that it's just because he's more mature and that's why he looks taller and older. So I thought that was kind of an interesting comment he put in, so I think that sort of implies that it might be taking place pretty soon after Super Danganronpa 2. We also see that Kamaru and Fukawa appear in the Famitsu, in a Famitsu interview that recently came out, I think around December 10th, that was discussing Danganronpa 3 and New Danganronpa V3. So, since New Danganronpa V3 is sort of supposed to have like a new setting and stuff, and more than likely it's kind of implied right now it'll be taking place pretty far off in the future, I'm not really sure that any of the old characters will be showing up unless it's like a flashback or some sort of implication like that. So I think this kind of implies that it's discussing how Kamaru and Fukawa could be in Danganronpa 3, which sort of also leads me to believe that there's a good chance the Warriors of Hope will also show up in the anime. Also, a while back, the producer of Danganronpa implied that he left a loophole sort of for the Super Danganronpa 2 kids, that they were in a coma instead of dying because they knew that they might want to go back and bring those characters back to life and kind of give them some more story. And so I think since the end of Danganronpa Another Episode, we see the Warriors of Hope and they're alive, and we didn't really sort of know during the game if they had died or not. I think the fact that they leave the Warriors of Hope kids alive at the end of the game sort of implies that they wanted to do the same exact thing. And it's pretty obvious that the Super Danganronpa 2 kids are going to be in the Danganronpa 3 anime that's going to be kind of closing that whole story down. And lastly, I'm going to mention that Monika is heavily implied to be taking Junko's place with that picture that they have at the end of Another Episode. So I think that pretty much shows that there is a very good chance that she will be a villain. It's also sort of heavily implied by Kodaka in another interview that the Danganronpa 3 anime is going to be coming out first, because he says something along the lines of, once you finish the anime, you'll really want to play the new Danganronpa V3. So that kind of says to me that the anime is going to be coming out first. So I think it is sort of my idea that Monika will be the villain in that, since that was at the end of that game, and it just would make sense to me. It's not confirmed, it's just sort of speculation, but I think there's a good chance she will be the villain in the Danganronpa 3 anime. And so pretty much relating to my theory of how Monika is going to take place in the Danganronpa 3 anime and how I believe she could take place is that, first of all, I know I made a previous video talking about how Monika could possibly be the mastermind for Danganronpa V3 before the event came out and kind of announced that it was going to be a new setting. So, in that video I sort of said that I didn't think she would be the mastermind of V3 because I thought it was too obvious. And the reason I said that was because at the end of the past two Danganronpa games, it's been sort of like a big reveal for the mastermind, so it just seemed kind of odd that'd be Monika if she was also like already heavily implied to be the antagonist. I just didn't think they would do it that way. But since it's an anime, I don't really think that it's going to have to be this big reveal anymore. It'll just kind of show, hey, you know, Monika wants to take the place of Junko, so she will be the new antagonist, and that Junko is finally, God willing, dead. It will not be coming back to life from the grave somehow. So getting to how I think she could play a part in the Danganronpa 3 anime and how she could be sort of the new antagonist, I think she will definitely be trying to make herself Junko, sort of like she did to Kamaru in Another Episode. And depending on the time lapse, I think she could be like in the process of becoming Junko and sort of look like how she did in the first picture that we see at the end of Danganronpa Another Episode. Or she could be, you know, becoming Junko somehow. I'm not completely sure how she would look in like later process of becoming Junko. I don't know if she would dye her hair, get surgery of some sort, but I really think it's kind of implied that she will be trying to become Junko just because of that ending conversation she had with Kameda at the end of another episode. And also I wanted to point out, we see the Monokuma kids behind her in this photo helping her build stuff, and this sort of made me think of the Super Danganronpa 2 tower that we see Hajime looking at when he gets to the 5th island, and we also sort of see like a silhouette of it behind Naegi, Kirigiri, and Asahina in the promotional Danganronpa 3 anime picture. And this sort of made me think, possibly could she be occupying that tower? Could that be kind of sort of like her new base or something? Because in Super Danganronpa 2 we see like building construction on the tower, and of course that's a virtual world, but I think it's supposed to emulate like what's going on in actuality. Like I said, this is all sort of theory, but it just seemed sort of interesting to me that they were sort of like building things. And when I first saw that photo, I thought, okay, they're creating the new Danganronpa, which I think everyone was kind of like, okay, they're making the new game, like I was saying before, but I think it could be possible that she's sort of renovating that tower, and that's going to be kind of like her base, since that was like the Monokuma Island. As for what her purpose will be in this game, I'm not really sure if she'll have a whole lot of correlation with the Remnants of Despair. Like maybe she's trying to fill them with despair again if they've sort of gotten new hope, or maybe she's trying to like fill more people like worldwide with despair, or maybe even like Naegi, Asahina, Kirigiri, like the Future Foundation people, because I feel like that would probably be like the most despair inducing if she was trying to fill them with despair. But like I said, this is all speculation, so I really have no clue as to what her grand scheme of things might be for the next game yet. As for the other kids, we see them in like a picture at the end of Danganronpa, another episode also, and they're all together fighting the Monokumas. So I think this pretty much implies that they're against Monika, which, I mean, we see Kodako pretty much leave her to die. Since they have this photo, it sort of implies that they're all working together. And the way that I think that they could really play a part in the Danganronpa 3 anime is because since they're hopefully going against like Monika, maybe they find out her plans somehow before Naegi and like the Future Foundation does. And I was thinking maybe since Naegi did all that stuff with the Super Danganronpa 2 kids, that the Future Foundation put him in some sort of jail, and that's why he has the handcuffs. And maybe the Warriors of Hope are the ones to sort of break him out and tell him about Monika and her plans. That's sort of what I could see them possibly doing in this anime. And then hopefully they'd be working with them, because I really do love the Warriors of Hope, and I would love to see them play on the side of hope in this anime and no longer on the side of evil Monika, which I really don't think they will be on Monika's side, like, at all. But those are just some of my thoughts and theories and speculation regarding the Warriors of Hope and how I believe they could be in Danganronpa 3. I really think they have a good chance of showing up because they have a pretty good fan base. It's sort of, you know, these things that I had mentioned before that sort of implies that their story is going to be continued, so I really think it's a possibility. But let me know what you guys think. Do you agree with my theories? Do you disagree? Let me know in the comment section. But I did want to let you guys know I'm going on sort of like a vacation this next week, so I may only be able to get one video out for the next week and not two like I usually try to shoot for. But I just want to give you guys a heads up on that. I'm not like going on a hiatus if you don't see that extra video. Just wanted to let you know. I'm going to try and make 2 videos the next couple of days, but more than likely I'll only be able to make like 1 extra video and queue it. But anyway, I just wanted to let you guys know that, and don't forget to subscribe for more Danganronpa content and updates, and I will see you guys real soon.